In order to build a merge cube, there's a few things you need to know how to do, and I'm going to show them to you now. So once you open a CoSpace with a merge cube, you can see this big cube in the middle of the screen. I recommend that you zoom out just a little bit to see the whole space. You can double click the merge cube with your left mouse button or your finger, and then you can see here that you can show the side labels, which you don't really need. You can also view the inside, so you can build inside the merge cube, and then you can also, if you want to, change the material. So you just make it purple, for example, or you give it a color. I'm gonna leave it at this. And then you can also unlock it, because right now you cannot move it. If you click on the merge cube, you will just move the space. If you want to build the merge cube and you also want to put something underneath it, you need to unlock it. And then once you click once on the merge cube, you have this menu, and then you click on this drag to lift button with your left mouse button or your finger. You hold it down, and then you can actually move the merge cube up. But in order for you to be able to build underneath, you need to rotate it a tiny little bit, just like this, so you can see all the 6 sides. So in order to build on the merge cube, you can either use objects from the library. So you can, for example, put a character on it. You drag the character to the surface of your space, and then you drag to scale, make it a little bit bigger. And then you can just double click it with your left mouse button, and then you have the menu that you have in all of CoSpaces for the objects. So you can do quite a number of things. You can, for example, animate this casual boy. You can rename him, give him a name. You can activate coding, and so on. So what you can do here is, for example, you just drag it up here, make him way bigger, and then you double click him and you say attach, and then you can attach him to the cube. And if you want to, you can also, of course, make him sit down, which would be a posture, and then you can see that he sits on your cube. What you can also do is upload pictures, like for example this picture of a squirrel. So you look for it on your PC, you click on it, you say open, and then you can see that you have the squirrel here. When you upload pictures, I would recommend that you always do this first. You click on the 3 dots here, and then you click on Added Attribution. If you use your own images, you use CC by SA as a license, which means that whoever uses your photo needs to say it's from you and needs to share it the same way. Usually I fill in title, creator, and a license. If you use other, you can say here, for example, that it's copyrighted, but please make sure you do not use any copyrighted material that is not your own. So if you have a picture you don't want others to use, that's fine, but do not use any picture that you find on the internet. And then you also click Show and Share CoSpaces credits, so everybody sees all the licenses. And then once you have this picture here, you just drag it to the surface, and then you can make it bigger, and you double click it. You can actually get rid of this. You double click it, you say attach, and then you can attach it to either side. If you want to do some coding, so for example, if you want people to be able to click this image and then, for example, you can hear a sound file like the word in German for squirrel, you double click it, and you click on code and using CoBlocks, and then you open code, you choose CoBlocks, and then, for example, you can say when it is clicked, or I recommend you use when it's hovered, because clicking, if you have the merge cube in one hand, your tablet or your smartphone in the other, you do not have that third hand to actually click on it, so hovering is fine. So when squirrel is clicked, so when this image is clicked, you can, for example, say that you want a sound to play, and once you do no longer hover over it, you stop the sounds, and here you will have to choose the appropriate MP3 file, and you can say if you want to wait until it's finished or not. False means that as soon as you look away, it's going to stop, and this is what I recommend to use. So you would, in that case, go to sound, you would record a sound that says, in German, for example, das Eichhörnchen, and then you will have that sound here, and it will also show up here, and you can pick it. And if you want to use videos, you can. So as you can see, I just uploaded a video of our German Chancellor who was speaking at the Gamescom. And again, here you click on the three dots, you edit attribution, you can type in all the information that is needed, and then you can drag this video here and you can attach it. One thing that you can see here is that if you do not use square-shaped media, so like this one, it will show part of the merge cube on both sides, and that is not very nice. So I recommend that you always resize and crop your image or your video before uploading it. You cannot do that in CoSpaces. And for videos, you have to double click on that video and you need to say autoplay off, because otherwise, once you start the space, it will automatically start. And that is something, if you have more than one video, it's very, very annoying. You can also change the volume if it's too loud. And if you want to code it, so now you stopped it, and then you want people to be able to look at it and start it, you can just do the same thing that we did for the picture. You can either drag, again, this block here, or what you can also do is right click on this part, and then you can either copy or duplicate it like this. And now you can say that you want to code, and then it shows up here, and it says when Merkel Gamescom is hovered, you do not want to play sound, but you want to play the video. So actions and video, play video once you hover over it, and pause video once you look away. And this is why you need to keep false here, otherwise if you look away, it will keep playing. And last thing that you need to know is that, of course, you can have several merge cubes in a row. That is very easy to do. You just duplicate the merge cube. And if you have smaller objects, like let's say you have an animal and you want it right next to the boy, you can of course either click here and attach it, and then you can attach it to the boy, so put it, for example, on his head. But sometimes you just would like to place the kitten here. So what you can do here is snap to items, and that means that you can actually drag it here and then put it wherever you want. And then once you click on play, this is what your space looks like. You have the boy who is thinking about something, you have the image, and you have the video that plays once you look at it.